Awesome. All right. Good morning. So, Thursday morning, just went ahead and I got off of work around 7 a.m. Came home, ate, showered, ate dinner or breakfast, whatever you want to call it. And then here we are. Got my coffee. I also watched a little bit of the show that I'm watching. I'm watching The Queen's Gambit, chess show. Kind of, I like chess a bit, but yeah. So that's what's going on so far today. I'm kind of eager. There's a bit of an entry right now that I would be excited for, but we're just gonna go over real quickly. Let's just get into a quick review of yesterday and analyze that, and then we'll go ahead and we will hop the session for today and see what's going on with price action right now. Yeah, yesterday we had just basically, we didn't take every trade. We were trading, we were scalping, we were being very quick with our exits. So we only waited, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing. We were able to save on losing more by being quick and being precise with a quick exit for one of our losing trades. But uh, one of the trades that we had taken, had we held, we would have, had a substantial gain. So just something to keep in mind. We didn't take all of our potential trades. It would have been, obviously it's better to go ahead and take trades when they present themselves, especially when it's your strategy. It's best when it presents itself. We had a couple bounce calls over here before the big push. This was the level that we were looking at yesterday previously before we went ahead and hopped off of the stream. So I wanted to circle that, go ahead and see how we had this break on our downtrend, and then we came into this resistance level that I had, potential resistance level that I had, went ahead and depicted or drew, and then we broke again this other downtrend that we had drawn. So we could see that there were two potential strategy or two trades there that would have been good. I went ahead and I drew out this level as a high, um, and then when we came back, pulled back, right, kind of consolidated just for a couple minutes, and then pulled back, breaking this level. So this would have been a good entry just as a breakout of a previous high, a higher high, and then the high of day. When we broke the high of day, I went ahead and I drew that out. So this was the high of day of yesterday, at the time before this candle, obviously, but I would have used that as a good entry, as a buy entry. And then you can see we used it as support. We had a doji, used it as support, a little bit of indecision, and then a quick, what is that, like 20 points, just about quick 20 points right there. Boom. So not shabby. You could go ahead and see two uptrend break. So the first one is just one bullish candle, and it's about 5 points, which isn't bad. But you can see if we went ahead and we adjusted it, after we come ahead and pull back, right, we have this nice break of the trend line here. We're going with 220, with a low of 171. So I want to say that's about 50 points, right? 220 minus 171. Yep, 49 points to this wick right here, from that trend line break, from that uptrend line break. So big moves yesterday. But we went ahead and we took our piece of the pie. I want to say it was like 150, if I'm remembering correctly, that we were able to capture. So yeah, so not too shabby. We are gonna play, not play. We're we're gonna trade a little more aggressive today. I want to be prepared for next week. If I am going to be able to go ahead and start my challenge, I want to make sure that I'm comfortable with using the numbers, right? With using 3 contracts, using 4 contracts per trade, right? Getting used to those stop loss levels, just seeing how it operates, so I can go ahead and create rules that I'll be able to use, right? Obviously, I can go ahead and I'm I like to feel the market out. That's how I trade. So some people, might say, "Oh, like why didn't you just calculate it, right? Why wouldn't you just go ahead and do all the math, right, and do it like that?" You can see here too. There's downtrend, 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 and then obviously we turn around at some point. So there would have been some good buy opportunities over here a little earlier in the morning. Just to point that out real quick. But what I was saying is like, some people might ask, "Oh, why didn't you just like calculate? You know, why do you want to go ahead and you actually want to trade it and you want to feel it out, right?" I like this trend line because we have a lot, or like 3 to 4 touch points, which is good. But I don't know, like for myself personally, I prefer to go ahead and feel out the market, and I find it best learning by actually performing, by actually executing, by actually doing. I know myself, so not to say that I can't go ahead and calculate, the risk. I'll tell you right now. So on 3 contracts, NQ, it's obviously going to go ahead and be um, 60 points or $60 per point for these moves. So for 1 point on the candle for this 1 minute candle, right? Then what is it saying? Yeah, 1 point on these candles of price action will go ahead and constitute to $60. So I know that straight out of the gate. If we were going ahead and we were looking for around 250 as our stop for 2 contracts, right? Um, that is about 6 points and a quarter. So if I go ahead and instead multiply that by 3, nope, that's not what I meant. Multiply that. So we're multiplying it by 60, right? Because it's 60 per point, and we're looking for, so about 375 dollar value would be my stop loss for 3 contracts, right? We might bump that up just to 400 to make it a clean number. But yeah, and then if I'm looking for the 6.25 times 80, if I was doing 4 contracts, that'd be 500. So 400, 500. So 400 stop loss on 3 contracts, 500 stop loss on dollar stop loss on 4 contract trades. So like that, just easy peasy. Let me write that down so that it's good. I do sticky notes. I'm really big on sticky notes. So we're gonna go 3 cons equals $400 stop, and 4 cons equals 500, 500, 550, 5, 550, 550. I give it a little. I gave the 3 cons a little breathing room. We'll give the 4 cons a little breathing room as well. So that's going to translate to about 6.5, 7 points for both of those. 6.5. Yep, and then yeah, 6.5. So it should be looking good. Looks like 9:15. This is kind of hot. I'm gonna change real quick. Yeah, this big light is just it's just a heat box. Making my room super hot. Me chatting too probably doesn't help much. Because I'm chatting so much that oh we didn't put our glasses on. What are we how are we gonna have a good trading day if we don't have our blue light glasses on? It's crazy. It's crazy. Part of the morning regimen, part of the trading regimen, part of the trading fit, right? Blue light glasses. I have to get like some branding on my glasses. The Trading Hub, Alexander the Hub, blue light glasses. Cool. All right, so we got our little note reminding us to make good decisions. Trailing stop loss when necessary. Do as you say. Plan the trade. Trade the plan. Right? We got our little sticky notes. So we'll go ahead and see what we can do in the market. Like I said, we're going to be trading those 3-4 contracts. Try to get used to these numbers before challenge starting day. And we're also going to work on holding. Again, I want to try and hold these trades, hold these breakout trades, right? Not just be in the trade for 1 candle, 2 candle, right? Obviously, depending on the move, if we go ahead and we get 2R, we get 3R, then I'll move my trailing stop. That is the key. I want to move the trailing stop instead of going ahead and exiting the trade immediately, right? Because at least with the trailing stop, I'm going ahead and I'm locking in profit. I'm not putting that money in my pocket yet, because obviously it needs to hit the trailing stop, but I'm allowing for it to be locked in, right? Like I'm able to go ahead and be like, okay, well, if we get to this price, like let's say we went ahead and we bought it down here, right? And then I went and I put my trailing stop here, then we locked it in, and when it hits here, we're getting that profit, we're getting that difference from the move. So, and if it still breaks out, if it still goes much higher, right? We're still able to catch that move. The only stipulation would be like, oh, now we're out of the trade. Yes, but we locked in our profit, we played it safe, and that's what's important, right? Can't be good at trading if you don't actually take and make money, right? Just like that trade that I had on Monday, when I went ahead and didn't move my trailing stop loss. Look at this break of the trend line right now. It's not past 9:30, so I don't want to get into anything just yet because we want to see where these initial moves go. We want to get into this volume, right? But maybe depending on the next few days, the next few weeks, maybe we go ahead and we change that rule. But obviously, I want to go ahead and I want to feel the market out, right? If I'm going ahead and I'm seeing moves happen before 9:30, I'm seeing my strategy play out, and I'm not in those trades, then I'm just sitting here like a statue, not executing when my strategy presents itself. So we'll see in the next coming weeks. I'll get a feel for it again, start to understand. All right, well, we are getting these strategies to pop up. So if we're playing out, then we need to be in those trades. But yeah, so like I said, trading aggressive, not crazy. We're not gambling, but we're putting more at risk. We're still going to keep playing it safe. I want to go ahead and I want to hold these trades for longer. So we got a decent amount of changes and things that need to be worked on, of course, as well as hesitation for entering trades is a big one. Now, what I would like to see, based on yesterday, I mean, obviously, we had we had this whole week has been pretty bullish. What even is this trend line? That's crazy. Crazy. Hold up, guys. Yeah, it's not perfect, but like as good as I could get it, right? All right, so those are our trend line. That's our trend line right now. But we could see that this week, definitely bullish trend, bullish trend. Um, we had a pullback here yesterday, obviously, but we went ahead and we pushed higher. This was yesterday in the afternoon. It looks like, or we no, the morning, and then here is where we participated 9:30. Big push up, and then we're kind of consolidating. You can see we're kind of stuck in this zone right here. So if we can push up into these highs, and especially break this level that I have, that might be a resistance level, and that next level, definitely bullish bias. Uh, is that gonna hinder us? Possibly. So we're gonna be open minded. We're not gonna go ahead and just only look for buys, only look for buys, only look for buys. We're looking for the strategy to go ahead and present itself. I see why. I see why. I see why you were in a different spot. Gotcha. All right. So we got our bullish trends. We got our bearish trend here. Let's see if we can establish. Yeah, we can establish a tighter bearish trend. Trend line. Here we go, buddy. Let's get that red going so we know what we're looking at. And then we got our zones up here, which if we start getting up here, definitely looking for resistance, maybe pullbacks, and support bounce upwards, right, for bullish entries. Uh, these two bullish trend lines are pretty steep, so we might see a little bit of ping pong play between these zones here. We'll just have to see what happens. All right, let's get some Cuban coffee on us. Good morning again. All right, we're gonna be hitting a leg day today, so kind of I don't know. I'm not always excited about leg day, but I'm a little. I will obviously. I'm tired. And leg day, I will say, is probably the least eager day for me at the gym. But hey, we're gonna show up. We're gonna definitely. I need to go hard because the last few leg days we've been slacking. So we're gonna make sure to push ourselves today on the leg day, on the leg workouts. Get a nice burn. I oddly enough, so the previous night I was mopping at work and I was listening to bachata while mopping, so I was kind of like dancing, I was grooving, and I pulled my calf on my left leg because I think I made like a wrong step. Um, I don't know how to explain it. Like I made a wrong step. So literally yesterday my leg was giving out, which didn't feel good. But we're feeling a little better, a little better, little better. We used the massage chairs at work, and that seemed to help. So leg should be okay. specifically my left calf. So we'll see how it does. We'll see how it performs. Definitely gonna go. Try and go hard. Try and lift heavy. Uh, and yeah, I've been slacking on the leg days, so we need to step it up there. All the other days we're doing pretty good. Can we pick up the weight? Probably do. Should probably start doing heavier weight. I've been trying to cut, and right now I'm up 5 pounds from my low, so I'm weighing like right now I weigh 155 after weighing myself. Um, but I also didn't sleep all night, so it's also not the best time to weigh yourself when you're supposed to weigh yourself like right when you wake up. But my circadian rhythm and sleep schedule are out the wazoo, so I don't know. I don't know when to weigh myself. Anyway, so we hit a low of 150, and then at the beginning of this year, I was up like 175, 180. So we've lost decent amount of weight. Are we feeling good? We're feeling pretty good. I can definitely feel that in my gut. There's a big difference in my gut and big difference like in my face and my arms, such and such, right? Um, I think I just need to get my protein intake up. But I think if I get my protein intake, I need to cut more carbs because I do eat a lot of carbs. Cut my carbs, increase on protein intake specifically, and then go ahead and what's the third thing? Cardio. Slacking on cardio, slacking on abdominal workouts as well. So those two things I need to get on top of, as well as leg day. So diet, leg day, cardio, abdominals. Those are my gym self improvements for myself. Um, yeah, and we're working towards it. Also, caffeine. Celsius. I have a Celsius addiction. It's pretty bad. But we're working on it. We're working on it. Setting rules, setting boundaries, and we're gonna go ahead and wean off of it. If I can go ahead and just wean off of Celsius, wean off of energy drinks completely, and stick to this black Cuban coffee, then I will be happy for myself. So look, we had that break right here, right? This was the candle. Was this candle for trend? Yeah, this was the candle for the trend line break. So our trend line looked like this, right? And it looks like the stop went up a little bit, not too crazy. The drawdown would have been like 4 or 5 points, right? And then move lower. Entry would have been somewhere around here, like 90, 94. We'll just say 94, and then 94 to 80, almost 84, 85. So 10, 9, 10 points right there. Boom. Pretty quick break. If we're talking about 3 con, that would be 60 times 9. Whoa. Hit the wrong button. My bad, guys. Hit the wrong button again. This is what sleep does. 60 times 9. Lack of sleep. 540. 540. Not bad. We'll get good at math, I promise. Eventually, right? And even on the second break too, because I went ahead and I moved it here. Like these would have constituted as possibly better entries. And obviously it's hindsight now, but that's just giving you a chance to enter again if you went ahead and you hesitated. Alrighty. 9:30 candle. 10 seconds. Here we go. Here we go. Wow. Big bullish momentum. Could that have been an entry? Yes. Um, this is basically like the strategy that I was using previously. I went ahead and I picked, like I said, on the night. I've been repeating it, but like I said, 9:30 candle. I would pick my direction, pick my bias. So I would have established this as a support zone, possibly. Had my stop loss somewhere down here and bought right before 9:30 and rode that candle up and then gotten out. Uh, what is that? 14 point candle, bullish candle. Um, so yeah, couple contracts would have been a decent trade for 2 minutes of trading or less than 1 minute of price action movement. You can get a pretty decent move. All right, let's see. Maybe we get a break here. Remember, we're going to be doing those three cons. All right,
Order filled.
we're in as a sell. Let's do some math real quick. To our, if we're going ahead and for three cons, we're looking to stop loss at 400, right? So we would take at 800 profit. We hit 400 as a stop. It's like teetering. 400 out.
Order
Out.
filled.
Way too late. Hesitated. All right, negative 600. We'll see what we could do. We'll see what we could do. Definitely got to get used to the three contracts. That's a decent amount too. But this is why we demo trade. This is why we practice, right? This is why we practice. We're going to break again. Do we want to get in again? Obviously, our last trend line break was a little.
Order filled.
All right, let's see what we can do this time. There's that momentum we were looking for. 800's our number. We're either taking at 800 or we're moving our stop. No way this is just going to be a big wick. We're practicing holding. Remember, practicing holding. Stay strong. Even though, so this is why you practice demo, right? Because this trade could go completely in the opposite direction. And it could be completely, like, I could be completely wrong, right? My strategy could be wrong. But I have my rules. I'm trying to practice holding for as long as I can on these trades so I can get used to it, right? There's our momentum. Come on. I can't wait to get TradingView set up. Probably gonna get that set up tomorrow, this weekend, definitely at the latest. So the analysis and the charting will definitely be a bit better. So I can go ahead and do a bit more and show you guys a bit more with that. A little limited here with NinjaTrader, but That's okay. We can go ahead and we can execute quickly. Doesn't cost too much for data, and I've been using NinjaTrader for a while, so we're familiar with it. We're used to it, so not shabby, not upset. All right, definitely some indecision. Here we go. Here we go. We're moving. We're moving now. That was going to be our stop loss, our trailing stop. All right, trailing stop. So I just put our trailing stop right here. Um, Around this level, we have a new break of a trend line. How do I get rid of a trailing stop? I don't know how to do that. All right, we'll take.
Order filled.
We'll take. This is the only reason that I'm not great, right? With let's just make sure everything's closed. Okay, we should be good. I'm not great with TradingView. I mean with NinjaTrader in the sense that I don't understand how everything works, right? Um let's go ahead, let's pull this up. All right, so here was our trades. We got these lines. I'm zooming in for us. Nice. Look at this push. Look at this push. So the reason that I flattened it, the reason I got out was because when I went ahead and I established the trailing stop, right? I put the buy stop. What a buy stop does is it goes ahead and if it hits that level, if it hits that price, let's say I had a buy stop here, right? Once it hits this price, this would enter me into buy orders. Since I sold with 3 contracts, okay, and I went ahead and I put a buy stop, right? I hit the buy stop for 3 contracts. You see it right here. So that was basically our trailing stop. Okay, so I went ahead and I placed a buy order, a 3 contract buy order here at this price, which is the exact opposite of our 3 sell orders, right? Because we had 3 sell orders. So if we went ahead and we hit this price level, it would have went ahead and purchased those sell orders. So it would have been out of the trade. Um, so that's what I went ahead and did. That's how I used the trailing stop. The reason I got out of this trade, and we went ahead and we actually executed the exit without letting it hit the trailing stop or without putting another trailing stop, was because I was going to put another trailing stop. I was going to put a trailing stop around this level. So I was going to go ahead and do more. This, to my understanding, I was going to go ahead and do and enter in another buy stop order of 3 contracts, right? So let's say we went ahead and we did this, and then we came in and we hit this level, okay? Uh, Obviously we would have gotten our buy orders. So that would have taken us out of our 3 sell contracts, and we would have purchased back those 3 sells, which would have been our stop, right? But then if we had came up higher, up here, to my understanding, that would have went ahead and put us in buy orders. So we would have had 6 buy stops that were in effect. So the reason I got out of the trade was because for that fact, because I didn't know, or at least to my understanding, if I went ahead and did what I just said, if I went ahead and I put these buy stops here, after having already put buy stops here, then I would have effectively put 6 buy stops, uh, which if we would have turned around quickly and wicked up here like this, then we would have been in buy orders going upwards, right? Look at that push. Look at that push. So this is where we go ahead, right, and we kind of create a couple more rules, and we can go ahead and we can figure out, okay, look how this trade played out. Great. I will say these executions are good. So did we hesitate here? I mean, according to this red arrow, we got in right at the break of this trend line, right? We wicked down a bit, but nothing substantial, nothing crazy. I think it was like at like 200, if even that, in profit for this wick. And then we went ahead. Our exit for our stop was hesitant and was definitely late. So we took a $600 loss instead of our 3 con calculated $400 stop loss that we want to take. So for 3 cons, we went ahead and said that I want to take $400 stop loss. So we went ahead and we faulted on that, right? We were late to our exit. It possibly is beneficial to go ahead and do the math really quickly. Be like, okay, I know how many points this is from my entry, know where my entry's at, and then go ahead and put the buy stop or the sell stop, depending on which order I'm going, right? So just go ahead and put that stop loss using these, right? That would be an effective way of doing it. So that's something that we can definitely incorporate from now on. Look at that push. Wow. We're gonna go ahead and calculate that in a bit. Um, it looks great though. But like I said, I went ahead and I exited the position. I liked this break. Would I have held it? Yes, we were getting a bit emotional. We were getting a bit excited. Um, but I told you I was practicing holding. The reason that I got out of the trade was because I had 6 buy stop orders in effect, and I don't know how to individually cancel buy stop orders or to get rid of it. So the only way I know how to do that was to flatten it or close. Oh, look. You learn new things. So I might have to practice this. But but I'm pretty sure this means what I think it does. So what I could have done was I could have canceled the buy orders and then placed the new buy stop. I think. So we're gonna have to go ahead and test that out. Our next trading session. Anyway, though, so that is why I exited the trade. So now we know about this, and we can go ahead and we can test this out on the next one, or maybe I'll test it out tomorrow because I'm not really gonna trade tomorrow. So I'll go ahead and I'll just put on like a mini, I mean a micro. My bad. I'll put on a micro trade and go ahead and see if this works. Uh, how I just explained and how I think it would. But anyway, so we exited the trade for that reason, because of those 6 buy stops in effect that were going to be in effect, and I didn't want to. We would have been wicked into the trade. We would have been wicked into 3 buy stops after having already taken our stop, because I was going to put another one like right here or right here, right? So we would have gotten out of our initial trade, and then it would have possibly put us in to 3 buy orders, which we definitely didn't want. We definitely didn't want to be in 3 buy orders. I'm trying to get rid of this line. All right, cool. So great entry here as well. We went ahead, same trade, right? So yes, we had that pullback, we had that loss, but we came in and we broke the trend line again. With the momentum here on this candle for our first trade was good. It was an engulfing candle, engulfing this 930 candle, right? So that was a lot of volume, a lot of momentum, right? This third candle, after we come in with the second bearish candle, it just I don't know. Like my intuition tells me, all right, so since we're not going ahead and being super indecisive and coming back up, right? Then we have a possibility to keep moving lower, right? We end in this zone and we use this zone as a sort of support. Yes, we get a little chop, we go negative a bit, um, but we come back down, we pull down, have some nice volume, and then right here is where we had our little mathematical freak out that was going on in my head with the buy stops and placing those trailing stops. Um, But yeah, so that's why we exited the trade. You could see it goes ahead and it breaks again. So arguably could put another position here, right? Maybe not 3 con, maybe do a 2 con, maybe just add 1 con, or if we want, just do another 3 con, right? Add that to the batch. Shoot for it to come lower like it does. Let's see. We got 185, 185 to the wick is now at 117. I don't want to mess up the math, but it's going to be like 65, 70, right? 185 minus 117. So you're looking at a 68-point drop right there from where we entered our profitable trade. So we're going to do 68 times our 3 contracts, 20 points for 1 contract per 1 point. So that's going to be $60 per point for our 3 contract trade. So we're going to do 68 times 60. 68, just double checking, make sure we're not crazy. 4 grand. 4 grand, which would have been almost half of that would have been what our drawdown is, because our drawdown on this challenge is going to be the 4.5k. So that would have been what our drawdown is in one trade, and that would have been almost half of our trading of our target profit, right? Because the target profit on this challenge that I'm going to do is 9k. So we made 4k on this trade, and then had we doubled up here, there are rules on like how much you can make in one trade or in one trading day for the challenge part of it, which kind of stinks. So like had we doubled up here, then we definitely would have hit the 9 grand, because that would have been here would have been the break. So like let's go a little lower. We're not gonna be crazy. We'll go like to the wick. What was that, like 160, 160? So that's gonna be like another 50. So 50. Is it really? That math doesn't seem right. 160. We'll go 160 to 120. So that's going to be 40. So 40 times 60, 2 plus 480. So you got 6.48. So 6 grand, 6.5 grand almost. So yeah, so they definitely would have raised the target profit, at least with Top Step. You can, if you go ahead and you make more than half of what the target profit is, then they go ahead within one trading date. Then they go ahead and they raise, or within one trade, then they go ahead and they raise the target profit, which kind of stinks. So you definitely want to make sure that you're staying under that half mark. You just want to make sure, like whatever prop firm you're taking, whatever challenge you're taking, that you know the rules and that you're following the rules, right? Because you want to make it easier for yourself. You don't want to, they're going to have certain rules. They're going to be strict on certain things. So you want to make sure that you're following the rules to the T, so that you're able to make it simpler for yourself, easier to pass, right? But yeah, beautiful break. What I wanted to say is what we can go ahead and learn from this. Obviously, it would have been beneficial to know that we could have done cancel buy orders, because then I could have gotten rid of those buy stops, and we still could have been writing this trade beautifully, and we would have, or we would have gotten a little more profit, because I would have put those other buy stops in, right? But what I was gonna say was arguably that my trailing stop should have been here at my 10 EMA, but it wasn't. Right? We were putting our trailing stop really close. I'll go ahead and say I think a part of that was fear of missing out on profits. So we'll be honest, fear of missing out on profits. I didn't want to be overly greedy, because I felt like if I went ahead and I held and we had this break and then we went ahead and pulled all the way back here. So that's definitely why I put the trailing stop. But I also wanted to go ahead, and I felt the need to cover our initial loss from this bad trade, right? Not this bad trade, but this was a bit of a fumble on our stop loss exit. But still, you get what I mean. Like, I wanted to go ahead and cover what we had already lost. Make sure that we cover that, so that we're in the green for today, right? So a good thing to go ahead and realize too, to add to this, is that Had I went ahead and had I put my buy stop for my stop loss here on this trade, then we would have only lost $400, which means that we would have been in profit over here. Total P&L would have been $600 instead of the 400 that it is right now, right? Because we went ahead and we took $200 more in loss because we hesitated because we were late for that exit. So definitely going to be utilizing these as stop loss entry points. This will be helpful for creating those stop losses on this program. I know when I hop onto TradingView, TradingView is just a little more seamless, a little more easier. This web-based platform is great, especially for futures trading. But if TradingView is going to give me the same exact speed on education or on execution, then I'm going to go ahead and use TradingView because it could be a bit more seamless, a bit more easier. It's not glitchy, right? It's not me having to guess or having to go ahead and freak out because I don't know how it all operates. I can go ahead and I can do a little more analysis. I can drag my stop, so I could go ahead and create my stop and then just drag it down right to trail with the EMA. So TradingView just has a couple more features that make trading easier in a sense. But like I said, I use NinjaTrader because I'm familiar with it. It's quick, it's effective, and I also can't connect my NinjaTrader data into TradingView. So I have to use the Tradeovate data, which I get when I take the Top Step account. But I am going to email somebody about that because, to my knowledge, NinjaTrader and Tradeovate are the same, or one of those companies owns the other one. So, at least to my understanding, like it should be able. I know they're different brokers, but if one of them's owned by the other one, then I should be able to connect. Because if I can connect Tradeovate to TradingView, then it would just make sense for me to be able to connect NinjaTrader to TradingView. Let's go ahead. I want to look at this. So it looks like our 10 EMA, which is what I was saying I should have been trailing. I should have been following it, right? Because we can see how we were able to catch a lot of this move had we been following this as a stop. Here too, look, it broke our other trend line, but then immediately turned around. That's interesting. We could see here that there's a bit of consolidation, so you kind of have, you have a little bit of a level. I don't know if you would argue that, oh, that's a crazy level, right? But at this point, I bet you if we take out the RSI, you're getting into overbought territory. And at this point, you're already so far in profit that, maybe you're eager to go ahead and get out. Would I get into more sells for this break? Probably not. Not after a 70-point drop. I think we might just run with, because we would have definitely had our 3 contracts, and had we put on 3 more or 1 more or whatever, right? We would have been sizing in already. So are we going to size in a third time for the break of a trend line? I mean, it's to each their own. It's going to be based on your strategy and your comfortability and sizing in and sizing out. Me personally, I don't know how I'd feel if we were down here and we were still in the trade. But yeah, so like let's look at this 10 EMA, this purple line, which is where I was saying, oh, I should have went ahead and put my trailing stops to this 10 EMA per candle. So I would have just went ahead and when each candle printed and this EMA came out, then I would have put it, okay, so this candle finished, this is where it's at, I put it here. This candle finished, this is where it's at. This is where it's at, I put it here. This candle finished, okay, here, 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 here. Boom. And then here you got hit. All right. So let's look at this price. 130. And up here, what did we say? We said like 185, I think it was. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, 185. 185 on the dot. 185 on the dot. and then this price level 130. We'll say 130 just to do easy math. So we got 185. Should be about 50, right? I'm smart. 185 minus 130. Boom, 55. Was close. Um, Again, like asleep. And quick maths. Anyway, so 55. So I mean 55 points. Let's do our 3 con. 3 con, let's say we didn't enter anymore on the second break, right? 3 con, so we're looking at 60 per point times our 55-point move, 3,300, which would have been 1/3. Yep, a little over 1/3. 1.3 thirds. Yes. That's not how that math works. You get what I mean. 1/3. A little more than 1/3 of our. I don't do fractions, okay? So apologies. But anyway, uh, about 1/3, a little more than 1/3 of what we were looking for that's our target, right? So yeah. So just cool to see. Definitely for next week, go ahead and incorporate this 10 EMA. Maybe we do a little more research. Maybe see if it's gonna be the 10 or the 11. I'll do a little back testing to see what we like. But we're creating new rules. We're feeling the market. We're seeing what works real time, and we're experiencing it. Like we're here. We're trading demo account, and we're experiencing the market live, and we're executing. We're actually taking trades and being a part of what's going on, right? So at least for myself, this is the quickest way to learn. This is the quickest way for that I've been able to pick it up, is just being in it every day, watching these candles, executing these trades, and staying consistent with it, right? I will say, like, before this week, honestly, 100% honest, I was getting back into the swing of things, because the previous 2 weeks I was just getting used to. I was like barely sleeping. Um, it wasn't barely sleeping, but I was like sleeping during the day because I was working at night. So like my sleep schedule was literally 180. I just had to 180 swap my sleep schedule, and I wasn't used to it. So I was sleeping throughout the entire day. Right when I got home from work. So just no trading, barely looking at the charts um, for the previous 2 weeks. And then this week was like, all right, I need to get back into the swing of things. Like I need to figure out my sleep schedule. I need to figure out when I'm going to trade. Like when am I going to trade? When am I going to gym? When am I going to sleep? When am I going to trade? When am I going to gym? When am I going to sleep? Obviously, work is in there too, and then school is being added on there, and then social media. This this works fine though, because obviously I can go ahead and I can just uh, stream while I trade, which is great. So I'm making content. I'm doing social media content right now. But yeah, so like there's a lot on my plate, and I needed to figure out, all right, when am I actually going to do these things? I need to go ahead and uh, dictate time, take out time, and figure out when these things are going to happen, right? But this week was like me literally getting back into the swing of things, uh, starting to look at the charts again, starting to execute trades, getting comfortable with taking these trades, taking these strategies that I went ahead and I had been reading up on, studying, and coming up with. Not that I created these strategies, that's not what I'm saying, but obviously, like when you go ahead, you need to figure out how that strategy works for you, right? So the trend line strategy, I could go ahead, like I was saying, like is the 10 EMA where I want to put my trailing stops. We went ahead and we're saying that today. Oh, look, it looks like a pretty good level to go ahead and put the stops. It would have been great for today. We would have banged out. We would have made this much money, right? But if I look at the 11 or if I look at the 12 and I start doing some back testing, right, and I start to feel it out, maybe I like a different level, or maybe I use a different indicator, or maybe I use something completely different to figure out where my stop loss is going to go, right? Where my trailing stop loss is going to go. So really, like taking these strategies and going ahead and you're going to make some minor tweaks. You can make some minor tweaks here and there. You're going to figure things out while you're experiencing it, right? What works best for you is going to be the biggest thing, right? Because I trade this trendline strategy different than somebody else might trade it. The person that I learned this from, I'll go ahead. I'll start name dropping because at this point, um, it's not that big of a deal. Like I don't free advertising. That's fine. Free marketing for these people because they're great. They're good people. Um, the person that taught me the trendline trading strategy was Tori Trades. So I took a lot from her course, obviously, but I traded differently than how she trades it. If you go through her course, if she taught you 101, then the way that she trades the strategy is different from the way that I do. Yes, it's a breakout strategy. Yes, it's a trend line strategy. Um, yeah, there are lines on the chart and we're trading them, but we have different stop losses. We look at the market differently, and we're going ahead and we're executing these trades differently. Our trading plan is different. Our risk management plan is different, right? So that's what I'm saying is that these strategies, even though some of them are written, they're not necessarily written in stone, and they can be profitable in at different levels, if that makes sense. So obviously, this trade right here that we took was a great trade, right? $1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, $1,000. Phenomenal trade. That couldn't like I obviously 3,300, 4,000, right down here at this level. So when you look at it in hindsight, it was 4 times, 3 times, 4 times as more if you held, right? But $1,000 for 4 minutes on one trade for the break, right? If we had what was I saying? I was saying that I wanted the target profit to go ahead and be $800, right? But that was a little silly because I went ahead and I said that I wanted to do a trailing stop, and I'm big on like when I do my trailing stops. Hold up. There's a lawnmower outside my window. There's a lawnmower outside my window. All right, lawnmower seems to be off. Um, oh, oh, big push up. I just want to go ahead. We'll talk about this in a second. What I was saying before the lawnmower interrupted our beautiful conversation. Trailing stop, trailing stop. When I utilize trailing stops, I personally like for them to hit, right? So I'm not going to go ahead and define uh, a target profit, right? Or a take profit level if I have a trailing stop, because my trailing stop is my take profit level. I don't want to go ahead. Let's say, like, I had, again, this is my strategy. This is how I trade. Okay. So I'm not saying that you should go ahead and do this. Not financial advice, not trading advice, not investment advice. Okay. But this is how I trade. Um, let's say, oh no, what's going on? My computer is bugging right now. Mad bugging. It's like flickering. Um, okay. Yep, that's what I thought. Not sure. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. It looks like my computer is frozen. It looks like the stream is frozen. So just in case, I am going ahead and waiting it out because I might have to just turn off my whole computer. Oh, can you guys can still hear me? Huh. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna turn the computer off. I just went ahead and pulled up on my phone um, the live stream so I could go ahead and see what was going on. But the stream is definitely frozen. I think my computer's bugging out. So I'm gonna turn my computer off now, and then I'll hop back on real quick, do like a quick uh, exit, continue what I was saying. Um, but yeah, for whatever reason, it's bugging out. So I'll go ahead and do a continuation video in a couple minutes. All right. Holy cow, this is the worst shutdown ever.